Hi friends, today I'm so excited to share with you one of my favorite dishes of all time. It's Albanian Byrek. It's a phyllo meat pie. It's basically a pie made with flaky phyllo layers. And the filling in the middle is made with ground beef, tomatoes, onion, and so on. So the first step of making burek is to make the dough. I start by making the dough with 4 cups of all-purpose flour, a little bit of salt, and lukewarm water. Then I set the dough aside so it can soften and become elastic. Then the second step is to make the filling. I start by sauteing onion in olive oil. Then I add ground beef. You cook the beef until it becomes brown, but you have to keep stirring occasionally so the onions don't burn and you still can cook the beef. Then you add seasonings, bay leaf, salt, pepper, paprika, and then I like to use fresh tomatoes, but you can also use tomato sauce. Once the filling is done, you set it on the side so it can cool down. Otherwise, it will make burek soggy in the middle. So by now, the dough is kind of soft and elastic, so we'll start the third step. We'll separate the dough in small dough balls, about 13, 14 of them, and then we set that aside. We knead each one separately. Then you get a rolling pin. I use the Albanian rolling pin, which is called oklai or pets, but you can also use a pastry rolling pin. Then using some cornstarch or even more flour, use a clean surface and you can start stretching the phyllo layers one by one. There are methods of stretching the phyllo by hand. There are methods of stretching 3-4 layers at once. Each of those are valid ways of making phyllo dough and phyllo pastry, but this is the way I grew up making it. This is how my mom and my grandma made it, one layer at a time. So this is how I was making burek. And then my daughter was trying to help me out and learning how to open each of the phyllo layers one by one. So in a way, you kind of like work it from the middle to the sides and then stretch it. Then you continue on a circular motion until the phyllo layer has reached the size that you want to make it. The thinner, the better. Even if it's bigger than the baking tray you're going to use, you can cut the sides and use those for either a different recipe or kind of like to make the filling a little thicker. So we put the phyllo layers one by one on top of each other, and it's important to drizzle olive oil in between the layers so they don't stick together. Once you have placed about half of the layers on the baking tray, then it's time to layer the filling. So no matter what type of filling you're using, meat or spinach and feta or other vegetables, you kind of have to spread it evenly. Then you add the remaining layers of phyllo on top. You tuck the sides of the phyllo and then you add more olive oil. You bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 180 degrees Celsius, for about 30 minutes or until the pie is golden brown. Then you have to wait about 30 minutes before cutting through because you want the heat to work through the middle of the phyllo pie. You can drizzle water on top if you don't like a crispy pie, or you drizzle nothing, just let the 30 minutes pass before you can cut through, and you enjoy this pie usually with yogurt and a salad. Enjoy, I hope you liked it. Please let me know in comments if you have any questions. Thank you, bye.